Kia ora and happy Friday. Time is the topic today. So it's the end of the week, another week, and if like me, you've probably still got things on your to-do list that you haven't quite got to yet. And the feedback that I'm so often getting, the stuff that I'm so often hearing is around time, how we don't have enough of it, how we're all too busy, and how we have these overflowing to-do lists which can lead us to feeling overwhelmed. Overwhelm is something we hear quite a lot about, and the impacts of that, the impacts that has on our mental health, our well-being, the time that we're able to then spend doing the things that we love with the people we love, and all those flow-on effects. So I'm going to talk a little bit about time, our to-do lists, and how our current society, or the current way we live, has put us in this space of, we live our lives like everything is one big emergency. We have overflowing to-do lists, we have competing priorities, and we live life like we have to get everything done, particularly if we're driven by success, if we're a high achiever, if we have this need to tick things off, to be productive, to do stuff. It's how we live. And yet, we know that busyness impacts our mental health. We know that not having time for ourselves and not being able to balance our busyness is one of the reasons we feel so stressed, so overwhelmed, and how that can then almost overflow and lead into physical health issues like depression, like anxiety. So what do we do about it? There's been some interesting things I've been sharing on my Thrive workshops of late, and this is around time, as we often think of time as we never have enough of it, as it's a scarcity. It's almost like you've got, we're born and then time is going like this up until a point where we die. Or we get up in the morning and time is going like this up until a point where it's the end of the day and we can't finish anything more on our to-do list. And when we look at time like that, it's always an ever-decreasing pool that we're heading to the end of. What if time went the other way and opened up? So what if we got up every morning and had 24 hours ahead of us? What if when we're born we have an infinite life ahead of us? For some that may be years, for some that may be many years, for some not even that. We never know. But our mindset and our perspective around time is often that it's ever decreasing as opposed to opening up. So every day we have 24 hours, whether that's decreasing to a point of zero or opening up from a point of zero. And I heard at a conference once, ladies describing it as, we have got, and I've got to get this right because math is not my strong point, so if you divide 24 hours up into blocks of 20 minutes, you get something along the lines of 78, I think. So you've got 78 blocks of 20 minutes. And when you think about that every day, how we choose to use those 78 blocks of 20 minutes is up to us. And that sounds like a lot. And yes, you might take 3 blocks out of that because you've got an hour's meeting here, there, and obviously you've got sleep as well to counter. But when we look at our time that we have available and then align it to our priorities, as opposed to trying to do everything that's on our to-do list and feeling overwhelmed, we'll find that we start spending more time doing the things we enjoy, and that time actually opens up for us. So I ask you the question now, does your schedule align to your priorities? Your real, true priorities? Because here's the thing, not everything on our to-do list is urgent. Life is not one big emergency. If we take a step back from that and think, what are my priorities? What's important for me? What do I need to do today? We'll find that actually it frees up more time to do the stuff that really matters. And we spend time on the stuff that really matters. And therefore we feel less stressed, less busy, less overwhelmed. There's another interesting tip that I picked up actually from Dr. Libby Weaver, and I shared this at a recent Thrive workshop because it's really changed the way I think, and it's really simple. I found myself, particularly when I'm busy, particularly when I'm overwhelmed, particularly when the to-do list is large, I find myself thinking, oh God, I have to do this, and I haven't yet done that. It's 3 o'clock, I have to go to the gym today, but I need to be back home for 5 o'clock, and I've still got this on my to-do list. And when we phrase it like this, I have to, we're putting extra pressure on ourselves with feeling that feeling of overwhelm. And here's the tip. Instead of I have to, what about I get to? So here's the thing. I have to go to the gym today because I haven't been all week. That's a true story. That's where I'm going next. Rather than that, I have to fit it into my busy schedule. I get to. I get to go to the gym because I'm fit and healthy and I have a body that can do that. I was in bed a couple of weeks ago, sick for a few days. I couldn't go to the gym then, and I wished I could have had the energy to do, at the very minimum, get out of my bed. And when we're thinking to ourselves, I've got a really busy day, I'm running late for work, and I've got to drop the kids off at school. I get to drop my kids off at school because I have kids, and that makes me lucky, and because I live in a country where they get an education and I can afford to give them that education. When we flip the narrative from I have to I get to, we're immediately changing how that impacts our brain, and whether we feel overwhelmed, whether it's another thing on our to-do list, or whether it's actually something that we're really grateful to get the opportunity to do. And if we couldn't do, it would be a very different story. So I'm going to leave you with that tip. You may have seen this week there's been a special launch on, so Thrive workshops have been really popular. I've really been enjoying teaching them and the content that's coming up in that. And so I've put it online, but not only that, I've put it online with a bundle. So when you purchase the Thrive workshop online, you actually get another 3 courses thrown in. So that's 4 for the price of 1. And one of those 4 also includes my most popular, which is imposter syndrome, navigating imposter syndrome. And what's even better than that is if you've seen the information that's been coming out throughout this week, you'll know that the first 10 people, and there are still a few left in this, with the code HALFPRICE, HALFPRICE, you will get a further discount off that. So this is $600 worth of content. Normally sells for $300 as a bundle, as a special deal. You can get it for $150 with that code if you're going to get in quick, because it is available only for the first 10. So I'll pop the link to that in this live. We've got next weekend, Women Supporting Women, the big event with some awesome speakers, great lineup. That's happening in Auckland at the Ridges Hotel on Saturday the 10th of August. There's still tickets left for that if you want to be there. And then next week, I'm actually going to be releasing some brand new content around imposter syndrome in the form of a mini guide. So keep an eye out for that and how you can get your hands on that. Otherwise, have a fabulous weekend. Mā te wā.